Hello, this is Alan. I'm a TAE tutor, and this brief presentation is about using qualification packaging rules. Just a little bit about what I'm going to be doing is I'm covering something that you need to learn as a part of a unit of competency in the Certificate for in Training Assessment, the unit being TAE DES 411, use nationally recognised training products to meet vocational training needs. Now, in this video, I'll be doing a demonstration. And the demonstration will, first of all, be step number 1, selecting an appropriate qualification. Step number 2, select appropriate elective units. And the third step would be to check compliance with the qualification packaging rules. In the Australian vet system, the qualifications have been designed to cover the requirements to perform an occupation or a job function. So, for example, if you had a cafe worker, the appropriate qualification would be a Certificate 2 in hospitality. If you were to train a carpenter, the appropriate qualification would be a Certificate 3 in carpentry. And if you were to train a person to be a trainer and assessor to work for an RTO, then the qualification would be a Certificate 4 in training and assessment. Now, what I'll be concentrating on is what would be the training required for a cafe worker, and using this as a case study. And now, the first thing is I'm already saying that this is the appropriate qualification, a Certificate 2 in hospitality, but what happens if you didn't know what was the appropriate qualification? So one of the things you could use is an Australian government website, which is the yourcareer.gov.au. Let's go and have a look at that website now. So this is the search function for what would be an appropriate training course. I can just put in here as a keyword cafe and search on that term, and it comes up as being a Certificate 2 in hospitality. So you could either use your industry knowledge about what would be an appropriate qualification, or you could use the website as I just showed here. So there is the appropriate qualification for a cafe worker, Certificate 2 in hospitality. So I'm just now going to copy the code of that qualification. Then I'm going to go to training.gov.au, and in here I'm going to put in the code, search, and now we are looking at the Certificate 2 in hospitality, as in what the qualification is all about. If I scroll down, it has information about the qualification, the appropriate target audience for this qualification, entry requirements, and then we find the packaging rules. So what I'm now going to do, I'm going to move training.gov.au over to the right side of the screen, and this Word document that I've created to the left side of the screen. And now we're going to use a table to help organize our information. And what we're moving on to is the second step is selecting appropriate elective units. But first of all, let's have a look at the packaging rules. It requires 12 units. So all packaging rules will tell us what's the total number required. In this case, 12. On the table at the moment, I only have the provision for 4 rows, meaning 4 units. So let's copy this and make sure we've now got 12 rows. So we now have 12 rows ready to be filled up with the 12 units. Now, the packaging rules will tell us what are the core units. So there are 6 core units for this qualification, and they are listed. So I just have to move all of those across to the table. So just moving the first core unit across, then I'm going to just say what type of unit. So this is a core unit. Is there any prerequisite? Well, if we look at a note here, it says that units marked with an asterisk have 1 or more prerequisites, and we'd have to refer to each individual unit to determine what that prerequisite is. In this case, there's no asterisk, so there is no prerequisite. So I'll just put in there none. So now we just move all the codes and titles of the core units across to the table. I'm not doing any editing of this video. I'm just showing you in real time how long you can expect it to take you to do copy and paste. Okay, so sometimes with formatting from the web page, sometimes the formatting comes across and like it just did then. Okay, so just went back and fixed up a little bit of the formatting. Okay, so there's a copy of all the codes and titles of the core units. So they are all core units. So I'll just put in there the type of unit they are. And none of them have prerequisites. And I'll just fix up the formatting so they all look the same. Okay, the next thing is we move on to the electives. And the packaging rules tell us that we need 6 electives, of which one of them has to be from Group A. We look at the electives for Group A and we can see that they're hygiene electives. We are talking about a cafe worker, so the cafe worker is likely to be dealing with food safety. So we will select that unit about use hygienic practices for food safety. So I move them across, and the type of unit it's an elective and it's from Group A. And there's nothing there indicating like an asterisk saying there's a prerequisite. So that's none as well. Now we move down and we got Group B units, and then the Group B units, so there's housekeeping and portering and administration, and then we keep going down the list, and then we find food and beverages. So a cafe worker, we'd be expecting them to be making coffees. So we'll select this unit about prepare and serve espresso coffee. Now this unit actually has an asterisk. So that asterisk is saying that this unit has a prerequisite. If we go to the unit, it will tell us that the prerequisite for this particular unit is the use hygienic practices for food safety, which we've already selected. So good, we have already included the prerequisite. So this is from Group B, and what the prerequisite is. So we'll just put in there the code just to remind us that that's the prerequisite. Okay, moving along, the cafe worker probably not only needs to prepare and serve coffee, but there are no doubt other drinks, other beverages as well that they need to prepare and serve. So we'll select that unit for the non-alcoholic beverages. This is again from Group B. And it also has a prerequisite, which happens to be the same prerequisite as in the above unit. Okay, we have 3 more units to select. Not only might be beverages, but there might be food that they have to serve. So let us select that unit as well about serve food and beverage. This is again from Group B. It also has the prerequisite, and it's the same prerequisite. And okay, we need 2 more. So let's say a person working in the cafe, they might need to be, they expected to receive, store and maintain stock. So let's choose that unit. Again, this is from Group B. This time it does not have a prerequisite. So we can just say none. And also maybe there's an expectation that they will need to clean the area, the tables, those sorts of things. So we can have a look. So we've got here a cleaning the kitchen premises and equipment. So that's probably not exactly what we're after, but cleaning the premises and equipment. So let's say that could be needed. So we'll select that for the cafe worker. And whoops, just grab the whole lot of words. Okay, there. Again, this is from Group B. And none in regards to prerequisites. So that now is the completed table. And so we can check back to, and this is the 3rd step, to check back to see compliance with the packaging rules. So the packaging rules, we need 12 units. So there we have 12 rows, therefore we have 12 units and they are all different. 6 of them have to be core. We've got the 6 core units. 6 have to be electives, so that's the other, of which 1 has to be from Group A. So we've got the Group A unit there, and then 3 of the units must be from Group B and 2 from Group B or elsewhere. Well, all the other 5 units we've selected are all from Group B. So therefore, the qualification packaging rules have all been satisfied by this selection of units of competency. Let me now go back to the slide. So we've been looking at what would be an appropriate qualification and units to train a cafe worker. So we looked at selecting an appropriate qualification, selecting the appropriate elective units, and then checking to ensure compliance with the packaging rules. So that's a complete demonstration of using national recognised qualification to meet a particular vocational training need, in this case, the needs of a cafe worker. So quick notes about qualification packaging rules. When selecting units, be aware there can be prerequisite units. If there is, we must select those. The purpose of qualification packaging rules is to provide flexibility. So not all workplaces, not all jobs have the same requirements. So by having elective units, it allows us to be flexible in selecting appropriate units, but also we're wanting to maintain integrity of the qualification. So in this case, we want a qualification to train a cafe worker, so the units we are selecting relate to that job. And the last thing I'll say is that there's an increasing number of qualifications in the vet system with specializations. What that will mean is that we'll have the qualification code and title the same, but a different outcome from that qualification. It just means we have to read in detail what the packaging rules are. It does add a little bit extra complexity. If you wish to have more information, I publish a lot of information on my website, which is ontargetworkskills.com. I also, for a number of years now, have been doing tutoring for people enrolled in their Certificate 4 in Training Assessment. So if you're wanting tutoring, feel free to contact me. And my email address is tae40122.tutoring@gmail.com. My YouTube channel is On Target Work Skills, and please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and importantly, subscribing. More videos are going to be uploaded onto my website. So that you get sort of notification of those things, please subscribe. Okay, thank you.